Hey YouTube, Coppersan here. Nexon has done it again. MapleStory has once again become a little bit less free-to-play friendly. Ironically, part of the Better Maple update made a change that had a huge negative impact on mostly regular server players. I guess Better Maple doesn't always mean better Maple, maybe better revenue numbers. Before this week's update, cubes and flames would drop from boss monsters, giving Maplers who are short on time a decent way to get the cubes and flames needed to progress with their potential and bonus stats on their gear, albeit slowly. However, everything changed when update version 224 attacked. This update changed the cube and flame drops from boss monsters, removing those drops from these boss monsters and instead adding them to elite monsters and elite bosses. On paper, the idea is not bad, because now Maplers who can't defeat those bosses can at least find these items when grinding, right? But the drop rate for these items is so incredibly low that this change took out a big part of the gear progression for free-to-play players. Yesterday we streamed and grinded in MapleStory for 4 hours. We fought countless of elite monsters and bosses, but not a single cube or flame dropped. These items have crazy low drop rates. Now, as I was writing the script for this Coppersan complaints video, something amazing happened. A post was made on the MapleStory website with an update regarding this change. Thanks to all those Maplers complaining and sharing their feedback, it was decided that most of the change would be reverted. Cubes and flames will drop from boss monsters again after today's emergency maintenance, but at a slightly reduced rate. Case closed and let's move on, right? As always, many thanks for well, not so fast. The MapleStory development team seems to have a serious issue. I mentioned this in a previous video as well, that the development team does not seem to take regional changes and cultures in mind. Korea. And of course I realize that MapleStory Global and MapleStory C are not bringing in the most revenue and don't have the same amount of players as MapleStory Korea does. But it feels like the developers are not actively considering their content for other regions. The recent change to Thunderbreaker's skills and delay comes to mind, for example. In Korea, almost everyone has an excellent internet connection, but this isn't always the case for the rest of the world, yet jobs are balanced as if everyone can play on the lowest ping only available in some parts of the world. The only reason we need to fill out our pin when we go to storage or open a Nodestone menu is because of PC cafes where a lot of MapleStory Korean players play, but in the West PC cafes barely exist, yet we got all those systems. Or for example, in MapleStory Global the speed cap is different compared to MapleStory Korea, making some classes a lot stronger than others. Yet our skill balance changes are always copied over from MapleStory Korea without taking this into account. And while the pick system did finally get removed with this week's update, the original issue still remains. You see those same cubes that drop from boss monsters in our version, in the Korean version of MapleStory those cubes are tradable. And with the larger population in the Korean servers, this change was actually pretty awesome for the players in MapleStory Korea, but whoopsie daisy, the developers did not take into account that our cubes are not tradable, and not in MapleStory Global and not in MapleStory C, so there is no market to buy cubes from players. There is no good way to get cubes besides crafting a few for yourself. The main issue here is that these changes are being ported over from the Korean version without much consideration of the state of MapleStory Global and MapleStory C and the regional changes that MapleStory Global and MapleStory C have. So a better Maple for MapleStory Korea does not always translate as well to a better Maple for the other regions. I have no idea what the inner workings are at MapleStory Global and the MapleStory C development team, but there does seem to be a severe lack of manpower to actually review and adjust changes to the local regions. I have good faith that all people working directly on MapleStory have their heart in the right place and want what's best for the game, the players and for Nexon. But there seems to be a shortage of people or time to actually properly review and balance the regional versions accordingly. And you can't get more time in a day, but you can get more people. Anyway, this is just the underlying issue. Right now, we Maplers are still left with a very bad change that doesn't result in any better MapleStory whatsoever. If the developer vision was to increase the amount of cubes and flames available, this change did the exact opposite. Even with the cube and flame drops coming back from boss monsters with today's emergency maintenance, the lower obtainment rate of 70 to 80% still makes this a loss for all Maplers. If the developer wanted to make MapleStory better, they can, in my opinion, and limited knowledge about game design, either make these cubes tradable, like in MapleStory Korea, or simply just increase the drop rate of cubes and flames from elite bosses and monsters, and there, the problem is solved. I just find it a strange train of thought to revert the change but lower the drop rate, so in the end it's still a net negative for Maplers looking for cubes and flames. Getting cubes from boss monsters will still be the fastest way to get a few cubes if you're limited on time, but if you can, as a solution, you could try and get your legion to a higher level and increase the star force on your mules to collect Legion coins quicker. You can now also buy a limited amount of cubes and flames every week in the Legion store, which should at least help a little bit with ranking up your gear if you're free to play. Then that was all I wanted to share about this issue. What are your thoughts on this change? Let me know in the comments. As always, many thanks to our members for making this video possible. Thanks to Niels de Coninck, Raar maar waar, Sebastian, Hanoy, FLX, Ryalias, Terry Kim, Vareese, Dries, Zumker, Plux, Wiley, Francisco Sousa, Historycanon, BackSpaceOTI, ceemak, Saffronyx, Lorenzo, BG Extremes, Anwar NHI, Brendon, Frank Bouguet, Ziggy Deer, Flidiot, Beamer WT, Knifezoo, Chen125, Pinky Traveler, Cloudfix, Gusus Rodriguez, Sir QQ Morse, Froggy11, Sir Tito655, Grayson Lee, Ricer RU, Brandon Cam, Vira, Bruno H, Dular, Trevor, Yuki436, Afterlord _MS, Sinfralido, Ritius, John Man, Lucky Beats, Justin Vale, and Silvio Nato. If you would like to be mentioned here as well and get early access to new videos, check out the join button below this video. Thank you all so much for watching, stay safe, and happy mapling.